Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike of smartoptiontrading.com. It's Wednesday, September 26th. This is your daily setups video. It is FOMC day. We have the Fed today. So as we come in here today, we do have the Fed to deal with. The announcements at 2. Everybody expects a rate increase. And then we have the presser at 2:30. So we're going to have a little bit more volatility than a normal Fed day today. So just put that in the back of your mind. So overnight, futures are up here a little bit. The keys are actually above yesterday's high, and the SPY is still not there yet. So we have a divergence setting up in the marketplace here. But let's go look at some things here. So you can see here on the ES, still kind of bouncing around, holding where it has to do, still holding above the 8-day here. Oopsies, all in sorts in good shape. And when we look at that, and we look at oil, oil was starting to really go. Then Trump's speech at the UN put some cold water on it. Not falling apart here. We also had a surprise build in data yesterday. We do have crude data again today at 10:30. So keep that in mind. We'll be getting data today at 10:30. Okay. Bonds waiting for the Fed announcement here. Trying to maybe level out here. We got a reversal candle yesterday. We'll see if this is going to continue or not. I do think the path for bonds is eventually lower. Certainly showing no fear in the market here. Gold still can't get out of this range, but at least it's not falling anymore. And when we just look at Bitcoin to see if any blockchain names will come into play, and it's trying to wake up here a little bit, maybe, I don't know. No real catalyst for it right now, so we'll just have to hang out and see what happens. All right, so let's go to today. And the first thing we always do here is we look at sentiment. So when we talk about sentiment today and we're looking at things from a short-term perspective, our put to call is in the neutral zone. This is good. This has been a change of late, right? Lately, we've been whipping around between getting too bared up, which we look for reversal, or too bulled up, and we look for reversal. And this is the first time we've had a bunch of sessions now kind of hanging in this area. It's nice to see. In addition to that, the oscillators are in our favor. The NIMOT, which is the New York Stock Exchange oscillator, it's negative 78. Would love to see a negative 200 reading. We'd need a little bit of more corrective action here to see that. But we're starting to get this drift down, which means, I start looking for the market to come in and do some saving here. And the NAMA has also gone back to the negative side at negative 31. So these are all really good things. This is what we'd like to see here as we come into a market today. So coming into today, we have to lower our expectations on what to expect. We had an extremely light volume day yesterday. You can see this here. We did 44 million shares yesterday. Very, very low volume on the SPY. And, today will probably be very low volume for the most part until after the Fed. Typically these days, they are active until about 11:30, and then everything goes dead until the meeting, which is at 2 o'clock. So the markets will be very, very quiet. This market is pretty much looking for nothing but names to run. So just keep that in the back of your mind. They're not looking to buy the markets here, right? They've been just looking for names to play with. So going to the SPX again, cash index. Why? Because the dividend didn't come out. And you can see the SPX here got a reversal candle on Friday. And now, 2 down days, and we're still holding the 8-day here. Okay, not acting great, not falling apart either, just kind of doing its thing, holding right around this breakout level from this candle at this point. We'll see if it wants to continue or not. It's trying to hold in, filled most of this gap. And now we'll see. And the reason we look at that right now instead of the SPY here is because the SPY had the dividend come out last Friday, and it's a little bit messier here because of that, right? You don't even see the reversal candle here. It was a down, an outside day. That said, when we look at the SPY, we like to look at it because the SPY gives us volume, which the SPX doesn't. So for today, what do we look for? If they're going to be strong, first thing you got to do is take back the yesterday's high, right? Got to come back up here, take out yesterday's high, and try to go up and got to get back up to this 293 area. That would be a strong close for the SPY and an indication that it's no longer worried, and put the SPX right around all-time highs. If we're weak, you continue to hold the 8-day. We lost it on the SPY yesterday. The 21-day here is at 289.66. And this candle here is your, line in the sand, right? You look at this candle here at 286.71. That would lose this upper range. If we lose this upper range, here's your 50-day, and it starts to open the door to more corrective action. So we'll see. The last couple of times on Fed Day, they popped it up and then pulled it towards the end of the day. We'll see if they do that again here or not. Not really sure what they're looking to do. What we do know is banks, which typically run into the Fed, did not. It had a nice day-and-a-half move last week, and then it's been pulling back ever since. So the banks have been out of play. There was a smattering of call buying in names like, especially Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley had big call buying yesterday. But for the most part, there was not much call buying into these names. And look at how Morgan Stanley closed. They may bump them up a little bit here ahead of the Fed, but typically if the banks don't run into the Fed, they don't run after it unless there's something special in that conference call. Energy out of play until after that 10:30 announcement for me. Nothing I want to do with that there. Biotech not showing big signs of life here, trying to get going. Although SRPT got a nice point increase at 200 today. So this one's coming up and trying to break out of this range, slowly grinding up. What I am keeping my eye on today are some other names here. So NVIDIA had a nice little trade on it yesterday, made a few bucks, got out with money, and it came back. It got a big point increase yesterday. And, this is the action that'll drive you nuts in this market. Big point increase, gaps up, and then starts coming down and gives the whole gap back. And then some, right? And then slowly crawls back towards the end of the day. So keeping an eye on NVIDIA, because not on an intraday chart, but if you look at this on a daily chart, here, if it can get above this 8 and the 21 day, it'll have some power. And that was identified as resistance yesterday morning. It remains that today. It needs to clear 270 with power. Maybe it has a quick trade up to it. Also keeping an eye on Apple again today. Apple has a point increase, woke up yesterday trying to get going back above the 8 and the 21 day for the first time. We'll see if it has any power to get moving here or not at this point. We'll see. Not much going on there. Amazon acting a little bit better here, not necessarily on my radar. I just, the options have gotten to the point where I don't play them very often. But Netflix is today. And the reason Netflix is on my radar today is, it's trying to build here for a potential breakout of this range, right? You look at this on a chart, on a yearly chart, and you can see you've had this, you have this uptrend that's kind of been tracked here, had this big move, came in, and now we've gone all sorts of sideways. Here was your earnings play, and for the last couple of months, we've done nothing but go down, sideways, and chopping around. And you have this gap left to fill. The question is, does it want to fill it? I'm kind of thinking it's going to want to try to burst out and fill that gap here. The nice thing about Netflix now, you can play it with cheap out of the money options. See this 12 ATR? This thing moves 12 bucks a day. If you think you can get a big move, and I do think if Netflix can break 270, you can call it 276, 277 area, right? And then the next stop is 284, right? So right now it's trading around 269. So, you got a 14, 15 buck move in there if it wants it. And then it has that gap to deal with, which can get it up to 400. So, it would not be surprising to me if Netflix tried to take 400 here before earnings on the 16th. They report earnings. So, I have a constant eye on that one as well here. Okay. So some of these names trying to wake up. To me, AMD here is a red flag at this point. I love the name. I loaded my shares yesterday at 33.40 that I bought at 31 last week. Again, and I'm no position in it right now. And the reason is this: it got another big initiation and point increase, and got a nice outperform rating, and they sold it again. And they've been selling strength on this name lately. And sure, on a daily chart, it's holding it fine, but you do have a reversal candle here yesterday. And the puts buying outweighed the call buying yesterday for the first time. There was not much in the way of call buying. And, I'll wait. The one thing I know about this name is when they want it, they'll come for it. We'll see it. It shows up on the option flow really big. I'm not seeing it there here. I want to keep an eye on names like IQ. IQ had their lockout expire yesterday. Didn't, moved up on it. This one gets above here. Maybe it can start going and get back in play. Disney is also one. The October 116s they were buying yesterday. They've also been buying the 115s of late. This pulled back a little bit. It gets above this 118 and it's gone. This thing could run. I like what's going on with Disney from a longer term perspective here. What else today did I have written in my notes? Let me check some things here real quick. These are names are in play. Square here is, I made money on it yesterday. I did not stick around long enough. Huge move up again. Pre-market here was on Mad Money last night. I think it's going to 100. I just don't know if it's going to go there right today on the open. The one thing I'd be careful is chasing it up here. Big move. And, if they pop it, they may pull it a little bit and play games. So be careful with that one. Dropbox was on Mad Money last night. It's up a little bit here. This is a name to watch to see if they come after it this morning. Also, FireEye was on there as well last night. So, with anybody that goes on that show, the CEO, they have nothing but good things to say. And this thing has had a nice little wake up here again as it's moving back up. So you take these aside. These are some of the things I'm keeping an eye on today. I still love Roku. I think Roku has a fabulous setup here on the daily chart, just not showing any power right now, right? Kind of just chewing up option premium, cooling off. RSI is sitting at what? Right around 70. So it's actually cooled off from 75 during this stack to about 70. Just chilling out, cooling off. I don't think this stun's over yet either. And we'll go from there. We'll see where they want to play today. See if they come in after things. IBM got an upgrade this morning. There was a good amount of put buying on IBM yesterday. So they're really playing around with this name. It does have that gap that starts at 152. So that said, I'll be live again at 9 for people in my service. If you're not in my service, there's a link in the description to this video, smartoptiontrading.com. Find out more, come in. If you're interested in learning, I do teaching classes and mentoring. But most of what I do is real-time option flow. So every morning you get this morning setups video that goes about what I like for the day and how the markets are setting up. I do a recap video every night that talks about the day's action and what's swingable and what I like moving forward. And I'm live about 3 hours of the day, so you get to hear me call flow real time and see trades as they're going on. And all the option flow goes up on my private Twitter feed along with news. And then we do a weekly mentoring webinar. That means every Thursday at 6 o'clock we do a webinar where we're teaching and going over things I just can't teach during the regular day. It's for $25 for the first 30 days. Sign up, then $100 a month. You sign up in the link below here, and you can cancel at any time. It's through PayPal. So for $25 for 30 days to get to know me and what I do and see if you can make some money, you'll spend more on that going out for a couple of drinks with a buddy. So hope everybody has a great day. I'll be live at 9 for people in my service, and then we'll go from there and we'll see how the day sets up. Everybody have a great day trading.